I present to you the President of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
Very much. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Mayor Daley, Governor Kerner, Senator Douglas, Congressman Dawson, Chairman Cullerton, Alderman Keane, members of the Congress, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your generous welcome. This year I expect to attend 2 Democratic dinners, one in my home of Boston, Massachusetts, and the other in my second home of Chicago, Illinois. I would not be here tonight without the strong support of your mayor at the convention, of your senator and governor during the campaign, your state chairman. I do not know whether to thank you or not, but I am here, and I expect to do my duty. Some years ago in the city of Fall River, Massachusetts, the mayor was elected by 1 vote. And every time he went down the street, everyone would come up to him and say, Dan, I put you in office. I feel a little like that in Chicago tonight. If all of you had voted the other way, there's about 500 of you here tonight, I would not be the President of the United States. I campaigned downstate with the Senator and Governor, and also with the Lieutenant Governor. Politics is a rather humbling experience. I introduced Sam Shapiro all over Illinois, and I figured that I was really going to help him along. He told me tonight that he won by 250,000. I grabbed Sam Shapiro's coattails, and he dragged me in. In any case, I'm delighted to be here tonight. I owe your mayor a good deal. He is a valued friend. I've been proud of his support, and I'm proud to be here with him tonight. I'm grateful for the generous words of Paul Douglas, who serves this state and country. And I know that he feels, as I do, about the passage of a bill on which he has worked for many years, which has now passed the United States Senate on 3 separate occasions, has now passed the House of Representatives, and which I will look forward to signing into law next week, the Area Redevelopment Bill, which will mean much to the state of Illinois, and which he made possible. And to Congressman Dawson, who speaks for this district and also for the country, and who is chairman of a most important committee of the House, which recently sent to the desk of the President a reorganization bill which will make it possible for us to improve our government. I am proud to share the program with him. And he holds in his left hand a bundle of arrows. I said in my State of the Union address that we intended to give equal attention to both, and we intend to do so. We live in a hazardous and dangerous time. I do not think it's possible to overstate it. We live in a world which is changed tremendously in our lifetime. History only will secure a false perspective on that change. But here is Africa, which was held by Western European powers for several centuries, now independent, which holds within its countries masses of people, many of them illiterate, who live on average incomes of $50 or $60 or $75 a year, who want a change, who now are the masters of their own house, but who lack the means of building a viable economy, who are impressed by the example of the Soviet Union and the Chinese, who, not knowing the meaning of freedom in their own lives, wonder whether the communist system holds the secret of organizing the resources of the state in order to bring them a better life. And what is true of Africa is true of Asia. And what is true of Africa and Asia is true in some degree of Latin America. The communists move among them, disciplined, organized, subject to an international discipline, promising under their system that all will be well, knowing that if they can win just once, then the iron grip of the totalitarian state goes upon the population. Those who resist become refugees or are shot, and they manage to control the population. Tonight in Vietnam, where the president was reelected recently in the last 2 weeks by a majority of 75 to 80%, yet a small army of guerrillas organized and sustained by the communist Viet Minh to the north control most of the countryside in the nighttime. In the last 12 months, have assassinated over 4,000 civil officers, 2,000 state employees, and 2,000 police, believing if they can spill the wine, that then they can win control of the population. And when they have won, they do not intend to give way. Now, our great responsibility is to be the chief defender of freedom in this time of maximum danger. Only the United States has the power and the resources and the determination. We have committed ourselves to the defense of dozens of countries stretched around the globe who look to us for independence, who look to us for the defense of their freedom. We are prepared to meet our obligations, but we can only defend the freedom of those who are determined to be free themselves. We can assist them. We will bear more than our share of the burden, but we can only help those who are ready to bear the share of the burden themselves. The Russians and the Chinese, containing within their borders nearly 1 billion people, totally mobilized for the advance of the communist system, operating from narrow interior lines of communication, pressuring on Southeast Asia, with the masses of the Chinese armies potentially ready to move, of the Russians who hold great power, potentially in the Middle East and Western Europe, the United States stands as the chief defender of freedom. I said in my inaugural address that no group of people in any generation since democracy was first developed by the ancient Greeks nearly 24 or 500 years ago have ever borne a responsibility as great as ours, and I welcome it, and I welcome it tonight. There is no easy answer to the dilemmas that we face. Our great ally is the fact that people do desire to be free, that people will sacrifice everything in their desire to maintain their independence. And as the true nature of the communist conspiracy becomes better known around the globe, when people come to realize, as they surely will, that the communist advance does not represent a means of liberation, but represents a final enslavement, then I believe that they will rally to the cause to which we have given our support and our commitment. I believe that we must build our country well also. Senator Douglas described what we are attempting to do. The burdens are heavier upon us. We have to make this society an example to the world, strong enough to serve not only as an example, but strong enough to maintain the commitments that we have assumed. I am not satisfied as an American to see people who want to work can't find a job. I do not believe it saps the self-initiative of any American to pay him $1.25 minimum wage can demonstrate what free men and women can do. I believe that our future can be bright. I do not take a depressed view of our society here or of our prospects around the world. I believe we live in a hard and difficult era of history. I believe that we are going to fail as well as succeed. But I believe that we are at least going to make the effort. I believe that we are going to try. And we will take our setbacks as well as our successes. And we will continue to move here and around the world. We will continue to demonstrate that we desire for other people what we desire for ourselves, the chance to build in this country a free society, and under the shelter of our effort to permit others to do likewise. The next decade offers us challenges enough and opportunities enough, but I believe that we will meet our responsibilities. So I come here to this city, which in its own way has demonstrated its confidence in the future, to the state of Illinois, which stands on the prairies of this country in the heart of the Middle West. I come here as a citizen of the great republic, and I believe that the future can belong to those who are free, because I believe it must belong to those who are free. If we put our power and wealth and capacity and courage and determination to the single-minded service of freedom, then I believe with Francis Bacon that there is hope enough and to spare, not only to make a bold man try, but also to make a sober-minded and wise man believe. That is our opportunity, and that is our responsibility.
Church from Howard,